Today on Security Focus, we're taking security back to the communities. We'll be talking to a President General and then to find out how effective and how ready they are for the Christmas period. We'll be talking about road traffic, decongestion, market security, vigilante security. So come, let's go meet him. Don't go anywhere. Good afternoon to you. Many thanks for joining us. The program is Security Focus. My name, as usual, is Ifunanya Amafili. And Christmas is around the corner. Most people are conscious about safety. So with us in the studio, we have the honor of having Honorable Comrade Bonny Ozo Nkwaku. He's the President General Enugu, a Senior Assistant Registrar from the University of Unizik. Also has served in various capacities, Governing Council, Yaba, also board member, National Examination Council, that's NECO, representing the Southeast. So you're welcome, sir. Many thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Good. Let's start with your academic qualifications, because, NECO, Southeast, Yaba, Registrar. Are you an educationist? Is that what we'll call you before you started the President General?
Well, I love education, and I invested so much in education.
Okay.
And that maybe that was the reason why the federal government, why considering me for board appointments in the past, they appointed me into educational institutions, first as a governing council member of Yabatech, that's Yaba College of Technology, and later, under Goodluck Jonathan, I was also appointed as a member of the governing board, National Examinations Council, NECO, representing Southeast Zone. And I also work in university environment.
Yes, so that's the history. I want to ask now, you say you became the PG of Enugu on the 8th of January this year. What has the experience been thus far?
Well, the experience has been wonderful. I was prepared for the job.
What does that mean, prepared for the job? What does the job entail?
Because at one time, I was the assistant secretary of the union, and later became the acting secretary. Then at another time, I was second vice president general. So I could say that I've gone under some tutelage
before getting
to this position. So I've mastered on what the town union administration is all about, both the crisis and the peace. All of them combined together. So I've mastered all
what
this.
Is it exactly that the President General does? What's your core function in the community?
Well, the core function of the President General in the community, first of all, to assist the Igwe in maintaining peace and security, because the Igwe is the chief security officer.
Yes.
Then the President General is a kind of supervisor.
Okay.
Then we also help the community to attract some developmental projects. Make sure that the community is showcased. The good side of the community is showcased to both members of the community and those in outside the world.
Okay, so let's bring this to our program, Security Focus. That's what the program is. And then I like the fact you said that Igwe is the chief security officer. You're like his lieutenant in his community.
Yes.
You're closer to the people. December, there's going to be a lot of influx. People are coming in from everywhere around the world, I should say. Those in diaspora and then those coming in from Nigeria to, coming back home. What measures has Enugu put in place in regards to security?
Well, I want to tell our people who are coming in for the Xmas to be, not to worry, because the community has put in place a lot of things to make sure that their stay during the Yuletide is worthwhile. What we do in the community is to complement the effort of the state government in security. If the state government is not performing well in that regard, it will also flow down. If they are performing good, it will also flow down. So we have equipped our vigilante, and they are equal to the task. This is a security issue that other things I may not disclose.
Absolutely. We're not going to ask you the mechanism.
But right now, our vigilante, they are well equipped, they are well trained, they listen to instructions, and are also well motivated to help and secure Enugu during the Christmas. But remember, the ultimate security lies in the hand of God, but we as martyrs, we do our best, and that our best is replicated in Enugu.
Now, the vigilante structure, they work under your office. They work under your office, because when you said they listen to instructions.
Yes.
Who is instructing?
Well, in Enugu, we have a vigilante committee.
Okay.
We also have the traditional defense minister. You know.
Is this just applicable to Enugu?
Yes, that's the structure in Enugu.
Okay.
We have traditional defense minister, and we have the BG there as a coordinator. So it's a synergy. It's something that the cabinet is involved, the president general is involved. In some other communities, it's only the president general and his executive, or the Igwe and his cabinet. But in Enugu, there's a proper synergy whereby the Igwe is the chief security officer, there's a traditional defense minister, there's president general as the coordinator.
Okay.
There are also several committees, directors of, they don't just report to me direct. They have to report to someone that will report to me. Okay. They also have to report to that will report to Igwe.
Okay.
So it's a something of there's a
hierarchy. Yes, it's exactly. Yes. Of recent, I think that was on the 29th of November.
Yes.
There was an incident which you supervised about some underage brothel, which is along the ring road, and then they had to go close the place. 2 questions. One, how did you get information about that, and how come it had taken so long before it was obvious that something like that was going on there?
Well, as the President General, and again on the side of the Igwe, our ears are always on the ground.
Okay.
So if you don't have people giving you information as PG, as Igwe, then something is wrong. So we have our intelligence network. So when we discovered this, His Royal Majesty directed me to carry out some surveillance.
Okay.
I personally one night drove to that site, stay in my car, wind up the glass, put on my AC, and I observed one or two things I did not like. So I reported back to Igwe. Then, at some time in the past, the manager of that place, or the owner of the place, has been invited to the Igwe's palace. And he denied vehemently that he doesn't carry out such an activity in that place. But our informant kept on telling us, look at what is happening, what was happening. So what we did was that we wrote a petition to...
Yes, I think there was a joint union that did that, the Enugu Traditional Authority and then the Community Development Union.
And that's to tell you how we work hand in hand.
So that's the synergy you're talking about.
That's the synergy I'm talking about. Yeah. So we wrote to the Commissioner of Police and promised to come and look at the place. So precisely on this date you mentioned, I got information that they were coming there for a raid. So I had to also tell one or two of my lieutenants to see around so that I want to witness and supervise what was happening.
Okay.
And to my greatest surprise, on that age class, we are discovered.
On the age, like yes, what age bracket?
The age bracket ranges from 14, 15, 16.
That's young.
Yes, very, very young.
Oh, wow.
And during preliminary investigation, we discovered that some of these girls came all the way from Abia, from Imo, from Kogi. None of them is even from Anambra. None of the girls are from Anambra. They were
imported
So that's what it means. They just came and hit that place and they decided to use that place to carry out all these nefarious activities. So our culture forbids that. The law also forbids that. So we will not tolerate this kind of thing in our soil.
It shows, I'm happy that, you had said, and it shows the synergy between the vigilantes, your people too, that you could observe something like that going on. Yes. Some communities would not, and it's reassuring because people that are coming home for the Christmas can feel that, okay, fine, apart from the physical safety, you're also sure of the moral safety if you're coming back with children. Traffic.
Yes.
That's a huge issue everywhere during Christmas. And there are a couple of areas on that, Enugu axis, Nkwo Enugu axis. What are you doing anything towards ensuring that there's a smooth flow of traffic?
Yeah, we are doing a lot. just like I told you from my previous experience, I'm really prepared for this job. During the Christmas, some other celebrations, that Aziz, not just saying, oh yeah, we are Bagana, Ogidi, Mpo, all those Aziz, they used to experience a lot of
there's traffic now already. So when the Christmas comes,
it will multiply.
Absolutely.
So what we have through the synergy with ATMA, that's Anambra Traffic Management Agency, we have trained 30 volunteers.
Okay.
To help us and control this traffic during the Yuletide.
Volunteer and youths from Enugu.
Yes, youths from Enugu, male and female, even some who are not youths, some elderly or old ones that feel I want to volunteer to this job for the community.
Okay.
So we've trained them. The training was coordinated by Anambra Traffic Management Agency, the road safety, the VIO, the police, and the legal unit. So it was a massive 1 week training.
Because 30 people.
Yes, because they were 65 indicated interest. Because we have to disseminate information to the village chairman. Enugu has 18 villages. We told them, look at what we wanted to do. Let volunteers come and help us. So 65 people volunteered to come and do this job. But during the training, they have to undergo training so that you actually know those who have the physical and psychological strength to carry out with this. It's not just something that you put on uniform and be,
Are they going to be wearing the uniform?
Yes, we've sewn the uniform to them.
Oh, that's interesting.
That will make them, distinguished from the rest. So during the training, now we prune down the number to 30. And what we actually require is that 30. Though we place 5 on standby.
Okay.
But we have selected 30 for the pool.
Okay.
And this 30, they are ready to go.
So they're going to be stationed at strategic positions.
Yeah, the positions are Nko Aziz, the Ezio Olanre, formerly Ezio Elias.
Yes, formerly Ezio Elias.
Ezio Olanre Aziz.
Yes.
Omile Aziz, Ring Road Aziz. Then we also have from the pool those that will be assisting to be going into the villages to help when there are functions. Because right inside the villages, there are also this congestion, but you may not see them because you only pass through the road.
Pass through the road.
So once you call us that you have a function, how many people do you need? 4, 5, we'll send them there. They also help. And this is a volunteer scheme.
That means they're not getting paid for it.
No, they will get stipend. It's a volunteer scheme, but a patriot for the community decided to sponsor this. Okay. The training was sponsored. You can imagine when you train people like that, you don't just train them like that. There will be entertainment, there will be snacks, there will be payments to the officials, at least for transport and things like that.
Yes.
So, first of all, they came in as volunteers. So they
without expecting
anything. But now they will get something.
Okay.
Courtesy of the patriots.
Okay.
Also, Barrister Jude Ekunife, a one-time President General of the community, whom I serve as Assistant Secretary General. Okay,
so he's the one now sponsoring that.
Yes.
How long would they be working?
Yeah.
When do they start?
They will be deployed from 23rd December to 10th January. These are the critical days.
That's when there's more traffic. People are coming in and people are going back.
Yes, 23rd December to 10th January.
Okay.
But before then, they will have a mock exercise. We've completed training 2 weeks ago. So
how long were they trained for?
They were trained for 1 week.
Okay.
So some of them must have forgotten 1 or 2 sides of it. So a few days, maybe 3 days to the exercise, we'll bring them back and give them refresher, to get them refreshed.
To get them ready for the actual main work. Other communities, are they doing it, or is it something that only Enugu is doing?
Well, when I met the MD of APMA for his assistance, a very nice man. In fact, there was no protocol. We stood up to discuss these things. He just handed me over to the commandant of APMA so that we'll work out logistics. He told me that he has this in mind to encourage communities that are staying on this traffic flashpoints.
Exactly.
To engage on
like
this.
Onitsha,
But look at Enugu coming forward, doing that same thing that he has in mind. So our community is the first in this regard. And he promised me that he's going to encourage
other communities to, that have...
because the government must not do everything.
Absolutely.
The ones we can do, we can do them.
Absolutely. PG, let's ask, when new people come into the community, are you always aware? Apart from the fact that, yes, it's Christmas, people are coming. Just on a general, if you have new, maybe residents in the community, do you know?
Normally, each village chairman is encouraged to get data of tenants in that village.
Okay.
So whenever a new person comes in, the village chairman will update his data. And
whether the person is visiting or residents?
No, the residents. People can, the community is becoming a semi-township. So if you just visit me and go,
that's not recorded.
That's not
recorded. If you stay like a month, 2 months.
If you stay like months, then it's recorded. And if a high-profile visitor comes to Enugu, he first of all, it's customary that you go and pay homage, or go and pay courtesy call to the traditional ruler. And in some of these courtesy calls, because of the synergy we have in Enugu, the traditional ruler will ask me, do you have time off your work? Maybe from 5, because I'm a public servant. The social people will come. If you have time, come to the palace so that we'll gently receive them.
Okay, good. So we're talking about when new people come. You said there's a register. Is it a register? But they register that they're...
Yeah, each village chairman updates and bring to the central for us to also update, because it can't be everywhere. That's why you have all these people that are your eyes. PG, we have recorded this, we have recorded that. Then you also update. So that that's why these people, they came in illegally and just occupy that small place. You might think people are just coming there to drink.
Because I heard that it was a restaurant. So from outside, you would think it's a restaurant.
That's the thing. In fact, it's a restaurant, it's a drinking place, and we don't have any reason to go and stop people from drinking.
Yes. But like you said, in Enugu, the Igwe is the chief security officer there, because it's like state policing. That's why I tell people, if you within the community cannot take charge, that's what I was asking. Do you have, is there a record when new people come? Are you aware? Because the only way you can curb crime in any community is when the people themselves become vigilant and become like watchdogs too. So let's commend you for that.
If any PG will come up and tell you that he doesn't know anybody of questionable character in his community, though you don't tag somebody as a criminal, but you can suspect. You can say that I'm suspecting this person. Then even if he tells you that he doesn't know that, then he's trying to hide something.
So it's mandatory that the PG should know, because
it's mandatory that should know. Then you're not in charge.
Okay.
You're not in charge. I can even, without thinking twice, tell you that in so and so village, I'm suspecting so and so person. And we're also made so many arrests. It's the one thing is that people don't want to expose bad elements from their place, because people will start thinking, so there are criminals in your area.
But why do you think it's so? Because the whole idea is everybody wants their community to be safe. Yes. Everybody wants to live in it. So why would you think that people will shield people that are not, that should be arrested?
That's for reasons best known to them, maybe to
is it fear?
Highlight their community as best community, whether something is happening on the ground, or to shield them. I don't know.
Could it be fear?
People are afraid, But when I came into this job, I told my executive, there's something to be afraid of. In as much as you are on the right track and you're doing the good thing, it's only when you start bending the rule, or start extorting from people, start taking bribes and things like that, that's when you become afraid. But once you apply
once you're not compromised and you're doing what you
know
need
what
to
applies to this person, apply to the other person at the same time.
So what plans do you have? When we're walking into the studio, you were talking about, a lot of people coming in from diaspora, and then that's something, an annual event for you. What plans do you have for the Christmas in terms of new people coming in?
Well, Enugu is a lively place to spend your Christmas. So
we should leave other villages that come and... Are you inviting them?
You are assured of very nice hospitality. You are also assured of security. You are assured of series of entertainments. In fact, from 23rd December to the 5th January, there are a lot of fun, a lot of entertainments in Enugu. The Eguaro of His Royal Majesty, Igwe Sarah of Unameba, is the biggest celebration in Igbo land. If I use that word.
In Igbo land?
Yes.
On what day is this celebration?
It happens on the first Saturday of every January. Okay. So this time it's going to happen on 5th January 2019.
Okay.
But not just on that, there are activities before then. You have a colloquium lecture. You have the Mount Festival. Then you have the visit to historical sites.
What day is the Mount Festival?
On 26th of December.
That's the one that they're talking about the traffic.
Yes.
So how do you intend to control
that? There's no problem.
But you have vehicular traffic, then you have the masquerade.
Yes, everything will be restricted within the Obumure complex.
Okay.
That's where we restrict all these activities.
Okay.
Then the vehicular movement is going to be superb this time around. And I tell you, these volunteers will go far because we incorporate this thing as a yearly affair now.
Okay.
They are not just going to finish this time around and stop. No. We're going to complete a yearly.
What do you mean? Like Easter, they'll come out?
Yeah, Easter and Christmas. Easter and Christmas.
So twice in the year.
Twice in the year.
You'll use them for activities like that.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, how do you balance being a public servant and then being in tune with your community?
Well, every weekend is for my community. Then Monday to Friday is for my job. Except such activities that will start from 4. I'm going to work by 8 and end by 4. So if I have any activity, I usually tell them 4 o'clock. Then I know I will not meet it by 4. Just give that 30 minutes interval.
Yes.
Look at Waka, rush to the community and do it. Sometimes I come from work from the community.
Okay.
So it doesn't affect my job at all.
Okay, that's
and
good.
Again, you have wonderful executive. You can easily stay there. You can stay in your office and be directing, and the things will be moving. So everything does not revolve around the PG. PG is not the presiding officer, giving out instructions.
So you have a very good, effective team.
Yes, and also have other committee members and also from the executive. We have committee on education. We have committee on sports. We have committee on synergy. We have committee on roadmap. We have a committee on entrepreneurship.
What do they do in these committees? Like committee on education and committee on entrepreneurship. What do they do?
The committee on education. Remember, during the last exam, UTME exam, Enugu community paid for 85 of our citizens to write JAM free. Okay. And the committee on education was the committee that scrutinized these people.
Okay.
We asked people to come, those indigents who cannot afford to pay their JAM. So through the committee on education, they scrutinized those people. Some of them not from Enugu, they want to come and take this thing. Okay. So they were screened. After screening, they come up with this 85, were attracted funds and pay for their JAM. And some of them have, gained admission now. Some are in the process. Some have been promised scholarship, particularly a visually impaired among them has been promised scholarship and she has gained admission at African Sugar. So we're going to give her scholarship.
Then the committee on
education also helped us to organize a free holiday program. We have a 6 weeks holiday program during this long vacation. 650 youths turn out for this program, held at Emmanuel Anglican Church, St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Arabike Field, also Arabike Primary School, City Center, and St. Anthony's. 5 centers from primary to secondary. So the youths were free. Yeah, it was free.
It was free for all the.
It was free. We paid the teachers. 35 of them we paid them, but the students it was free. Even those people who are not from Enugu but are residing in Enugu, we encourage them to come. Okay. That this time around we didn't discriminate. We said our sons and daughters and legal residents, people from Kogi State, from Edo State, they all came. And at the end of the program, they were very, very happy.
What about the entrepreneurial committee?
Yeah, the entrepreneurial committee, they're involved in, making this youth to acquire skill, things like that. For example, now we have 10 youths we are sponsoring on 6 months ICT. They're attending it now at Percent Institute here in Oka. So these 6 youths, they were discovered by this committee on entrepreneurship. And we also got a sponsor. Mr. Elijah Onyaba had to sponsor this.
So someone from the community is sponsoring the students to go for that training.
Yes.
Is it something that is just applicable to Enugu or other PGs to extend?
I won't speak for other PGs.
Yeah, you speak for yourself.
But we attend meetings and we share ideas. And sometimes when I bring up some of these ideas, it marvels some of my colleagues. How are you able to achieve this? without any fund, who don't receive any fund. In fact, no assistance. But because of the peculiar nature of Enugu and those at the helm of affairs, we can, if you talk to one or two persons and show him the program, one thing is for you to be honest in what you are doing. When the people see the honesty and see what you want to execute, people can invest in it. And when they're investing, you are giving them the result, you are giving them the breakdown. Look at the stage.
Feedback.
They're getting feedback.
Yes. Okay.
So someone has been spent for this. The people on ICT have been registered. I also go to inspect the places. Right now, the youths are also engaged in football activities. It started since October, it will end in January. Okay. It's being sponsored by Honorable Ferdinand Ozienwanko on behalf of the Enugu Community Development Union. So the man is getting the result, is getting the, the feedback on all these things. So when there's honesty and focus in what you are doing, community will come and key behind you.
Let's talk about vigilante. I know there was one time the federal government had said vigilantes should not, hold the pump actions that they carry around. Yeah. Are vigilantes armed? I think they should be because...
Well, vigilantes are armed and they have license for the arms. Mm-hmm. Licensed by the police. So I think that order was rescinded because, when that order was issued, crime picked up again.
Because people thought they were not going to be armed.
Exactly. So, but when the order was rescinded, well, the other thing I advise vigilante, don't misuse the arms. Use the arm according to the terms of the license. It's not all arms that are licensed. Mm-hmm. So they know the particular one they use for this operation and they are licensed.
But how do you control that they don't misuse it? Because sometimes you hear about even police people that are officially, licensed to carry the kind of guns. You have one or two stray bullets. And
in any vigilante, we have human beings and not animals managing the vigilante. They are trained both psychologically and physically. Mm-hmm. So these are human beings. And we've not had incidents of any member of any vigilante misusing his arms. And it's not going to happen. Because the supervisory authority are doing their job. The Igwe is doing his job. The PG is doing his job. The defense minister is also doing his job.
So that's what's keeping it in check.
Yes, that's what's keeping it in check. And we have information. If there's an attempt to even misuse the power given to you, we'll know. We'll sanction the person immediately. We'll sanction someone of them just on an attempt. Not that he has attempted, but on an attempt. Mm-hmm. The person was sanctioned. Okay. So they are work. They don't take bribes. They don't intimidate people. If you look at them, they are very, very simple in their approach. It's not this type of vigilante.
That's the worry most people will have, especially coming from that.
It's a friendly vigilante, very, very friendly. So you'll be surprised that we have this level of men manning Enugu vigilante. You'll be proud when you come to Enugu and see what these men are doing.
How are they recruited? Is there any process by virtue of, let's say, your family? People know you. You're credible.
Of course. First of all, your village chairman, where you come from, will attest that I know this person. Okay. Then after that attestation, they also carry out other secret investigation about that person, about his criminal, if he has any criminal record and things like that. A lot of would-be vigilante men have been disqualified, even after being recommended by their chairman.
Their chairman, okay. Because they had other issues that you didn't know about.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. What about people that don't reside in Enugu? They're coming into town for the Christmas, like everybody's saying. We've talked about traffic, we talked about security. What about the markets? Will people come in from outside and come and sell? Why I'm saying the market is because sometimes traffic on that road is also caused by people that come out from the market stores. They're on the main road. People are parked on the road, causing another traffic, So that's what I'm asking. What about the market in terms of controlling traffic around those axes?
Okay. The second thing I did in my administration, after attracting funds to pay for 85 of our youths to pay for their jam, was to decongest Nkwo market. We banned street trading, forced the women to
go into the store.
To go beyond the gutter, because sometimes they will
They come out to the main road.
To main road. So they have gone beyond the gutter now. The gutter is open. In fact, we opened the gutter during the last rainy season, so that there won't be much flooding. So right now, and we have, stopped parking in front of the market.
So where do people park when they come to the official park that they can drive?
No, there's no official park, but they're encouraged to park within the poor Urupaleke bypass. It's under construction. They can also park within the civic center as is. The civic center is very big. We encourage them to come and park there.
So when they park, then they walk.
They will now walk in and come and pick there. So they are aware of this now. People coming in, we key in, because it's when you see what those already in the Enugu are doing, you key in. When they see that people are not parking there, and look at what they will just key in.
Because I was asking these volunteers, the 30 of them, whether they will be
the volunteers, they will be there. It's part of their work.
Good, that's what I was asking. Whether they will be there to ensure that people park.
Yes, I mentioned Nkwo as their places of operation. I mentioned Nkwo, I mentioned Eziopalan, I mentioned Ring Road, I mentioned Omile. So, and they work under direct supervision of APMA. So they could be deployed and redeployed based on needs.
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we can't take any more calls. But I want to thank you so much for being my guest on the program. And you've invited us to Enugu, so I'm coming. You said 29th, there's a masquerade.
26th.
26th.
26th. There's a program on 28th. There's a program on 30th. Then there's now the grand finale on 5th of January.
On the 5th, that's the one you said is the biggest thing.
If you must miss others, don't miss that.
Don't miss the one on the 5th of January. I'm actually writing it down now. Many thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And with that, we've come to the end of the program, Security Focus. Don't forget, this is a season. This is a festive season. People are coming into town. There's going to be vehicular traffic, human traffic. The most important thing is we all should try and be safe. Security belongs to me and you, so it's our responsibility to ensure we keep ourselves safe. Next week, join us, same program, and then have a good weekend.